My journey to the Valley of the Kings reminds me why I do what I do. Let's talk about it. Hello everybody, Joe Wirbick coming at you, and today I'm lucky enough to be in the Valley of the Kings, right outside the city of Luxor in Egypt, at just some amazing tombs. And for those of you who don't know the history of the pharaohs and the kings, it dates back to over 3000 BC, and the Egyptians believed that once you died, your afterlife was for eternity. And they felt that they had to preserve the body so that they could live for eternity. They would mummify the body, they would preserve the heart for judgment, and they wanted to ensure that their body was safe for eternity. So they would bury the body. They initially would just dig down a few meters into the ground, but unfortunately animals would find the body. Then they moved on to digging deeper and deeper tombs and placing large stones over the tombs, but eventually grave robbers would find the bodies, the mummies, and the treasures. And around the mid-2000 BC, they started constructing large pyramids. They initially constructed them of sandstone, and then as the pharaoh's wealth grew, they could afford larger and more elaborate pyramids like the Great Pyramids of Giza that were constructed of limestone. And what they would do is they would create large, very intricate tunnels to hide all of their treasures and to hide the mummies so that their bodies could be preserved forever, so they could enjoy the afterlife. Well, unfortunately, if you construct a 100+ meter tall pyramid, you're sort of advertising to everybody, hey, the treasures and the bodies are right here. And of course, they were all looted as well. So move beyond that. And eventually they decided that it was best to hide the tombs inside of mountains. And that's why we are here inside the Valley of the Kings, where over 63 tombs have been discovered. This is where King Tut's tomb was discovered. And the reason King Tut is so famous, even though he only had a reign of about 9 years, is because his tomb was one of the only ones that had not been discovered before, had not been robbed. And so in 1922, Howard Carter, some say he found the tomb, some say a local boy pointed the tomb out to him, and we discovered King Tut's tomb intact with over 5,000 artifacts. And I guess you could say we eventually robbed his tomb as well. So what I find interesting, here they spent all this time and money to dig hundreds of meters into the mountains to hide the bodies. And what this brought me back to in my practice is I spent the last 23 years helping people to retire successfully. And over that 23-year time frame, I've changed the way I give advice. Originally, I focused mostly on growth. We moved on to the distribution phase of an individual's retirement. And I've learned and developed better and more efficient techniques to help preserve my clients' wealth over their retirement years. Just like the pharaohs wanted to preserve their bodies and their treasures for thousands of years, my job is to preserve my clients' wealth. And I find the most efficient way to do that is to avoid taxes. I live by the idea, it's not how much you make, it's how much you keep. And so that's why I've developed the reverse retirement plan, where I help you to retire tax-free so that you can preserve your wealth for generations to come. It's amazing what I've been able to do for my clients, where if they can take their wealth and make it tax-free, this wealth could grow to exponential proportions, much larger than they ever thought possible. So much like the pharaoh's wealth, my clients' wealth can be larger, and they can pass more of it on to the next generations, preserving their legacy, preserving their wealth for future generations, just like the pharaohs preserved their bodies. This has been an amazing trip. If you get a chance, I highly recommend coming to Egypt, just walking through these tombs and seeing the amazing hieroglyphs and paintings. It's beyond expectation. So if you get a chance, come on over to Egypt and explore. If you like videos like this, please subscribe, turn on the notifications so you can see more videos. Put comments down below of ideas for future videos. Thank you for your subscriptions, and I'll see you next week.